welcome to another One Big Thing, a KAC legislative update. This week's big thing is conference committees. Now, I know that we aren't yet to the point in the session where conference committees will start to meet, but it's always good to get a primer on conference committees and what they do and how they operate, so that when the action starts, everyone can follow along more easily. Conference committees are basically a meeting between the House and the Senate to work out the details on a bill that has been passed by both chambers. Sometimes a bill will be passed in the Senate and then it'll pass in the House, but there will be amendments made in the second chamber that were not made in the first chamber. When this happens, there are conflicting versions of the bill that must be reconciled. That reconciliation happens in what's called a conference committee. During that process, the chair, vice chair, and ranking minority member from each committee will meet. So the House chair, the Senate chair, the House vice chair, the Senate vice chair, and the ranking minority members from each of those committees will meet in a room and discuss the changes to the bill. At that time, they can add things, they can subtract things, so that the bill comes out looking the same after the conference. While this, however, doesn't mean that the bill will come looking out exactly the same as it passed one chamber or the other. Oftentimes, conference committees are used as vehicles in order to add other bills that are conferenceable, but were not passed by one chamber or the other. In this week's legislative update, I mentioned that both the Dickinson County and Grant County sales taxes are now conferenceable because they've passed their respective chambers. This means that they could, if they don't pass either the other chamber, they could be added to a conference committee report as a conferenceable bill. So keep an eye on those conference committees as they get ready to ramp up, because those conference committees could be adding bills that we've talked about in this space or in the legislative updates before. That's all for now, but I look forward to talking to you next week as we get closer to first adjournment.